morning, everybody. I thought today we would talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about investments, okay? And I don't mean in your stock portfolio and your savings account and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, those are important investments too, investing towards your future, so that you've got that nice nest egg when you retire so you can go do the things you want to do. But I'm actually talking about investments within a company. And how a company invests money and what we look for in that return on the investment. If you notice, right here behind me, we got this really big open spot right next to our two favorite little Miata machines, which, boy, I wish they still made them that good. They're old machines, but they sure work great. Our investment that we're about to put in that big opening right there is a new Amerisiki lathe, a 4-inch through-bore machine, 40-inch tween centers. It's going to allow us to take some of the work that we've been forced to run manually and move it over to this machine to make it more efficient. It's the idea. We're investing quite a bit of money to streamline that process. In the meantime, it means we're getting rid of our little bitty baby Miata here. Why did we pick that machine to be the one to get rid of? Really simple. It's got a very small component part size, and although it makes those small parts really fast and really efficient, in our business it's not necessarily all about getting it done in seconds. It's about what versatility do we have, because we never know what's going to come through our door, and we want to always be able to take care of what our customer needs. Okay, so we're making a large capital investment to make that happen. And because of that, it got me started thinking about the investments I've made in my career, and some of them have been good and some of them have been bad. One of the funnier ones is actually right here on the floor behind me. All these pallets are a whole bunch of stuff that are from a welding supply company that we've been involved with for quite a while that turned out to not be a very good investment. Okay. Largely because now pretty much all that stuff you can buy on Amazon and have it shipped right to you in 2 days. Because of that, people don't necessarily go to the welding store and buy stuff much anymore. Fortunately, the building was a good investment, so we're still making a little money on the deal because we've got the building sold, which is why we're getting this stuff out of here. Also an important part of investment. Why did we buy into that? Simple. It allowed us to decrease our costs when we were buying component gases and that kind of stuff, so we could get in at a wholesale cost. Made a big difference, right? Well, now we're big enough we can buy at really good prices no matter what. But when you're first starting out, if you can save 5% on something, that's a huge savings. So you definitely want to do your best to save money anywhere you can, right? Morning, Steven.
Morning.
One of my super awesome guys. They call him Fun Size.
I'm a lot of fun.
And he ain't that much fun. So getting ready. Steven, he's invested in some of his free time here at the shop as he's gotten done with his morning workout routine. Because, you got to see him. He's got these big old guns, man. He works out all the time.
Yeah.
It's gun show.
Yeah, welcome to the gun show. Can't get you started.
He's good people. He's goofy, but he's good people. So, you take those types of investments, back on what we're actually talking about, and it can be really difficult to understand whether we should make an investment or whether we don't make an investment. And not all of them are going to work out good. One of the other big types of investments is investments in your time and training from one company to the other. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're buying into another company or anything like that, but we've got a number of companies that we know that we try to help any way we can. Sometimes that's something simple, like they're in a bind, they need a chunk of 6-inch round bar, which is something we keep on the shelf. They give a quick phone call because they're in a bind. We'll get it lopped off and get it sent over to them, because one of these days we'll be in a bind and we want them to be more than willing to help us out. Give them anything you can. When they come over and we're talking, we try to explain how we're doing things so that they can be more efficient. Talk to people about, the Titans Academy and the Fusion software and all the other things that we can do. Why are we doing training the way we are? How are we incentivizing our employees? All those different things are all things that we invest in, and they may not be the obvious investments. We invest in vehicles, something was said to me a while back that it's important that when we go to a job site that we look professional, right? I'm not so worried about having big banners stacked on the side of my trucks and all that kind of stuff. I just don't want to show up and, look unprofessional. So we invest a lot of time. We give all of our employees t-shirts, we give them all nice PPE stuff that's all logoed out and whatnot, and never-ending stickers all over everything, all part of the investment we make so that we look good to our customers and invite their confidence that we're going to spend our money well, their money well. And so the hard part of all that is to understand, when you make those investments, not so much whether they're going to be good investments or bad investments, but how are we going to go about recuperating that money, and how are we going to pay for it? Are we going to borrow money? So, believe it or not, Ryan, I don't have one of the shirts on today, but there you go. You can have a little logo action. So the biggest investment that we make is in our people. Our people make our business. Whether it's our little Stephen Fun size sitting out there or any of our crew, we invest a lot of time, money, and energy into training them to teach them to be the best machinists that they can be, teach them how to do their job effectively and efficiently so they can make more money. That's what it boils down to. If they're good at their job and they can run through a job fast and be effective, then I can charge more per hour for their labor than I can pay them more money, right? It's pretty simple math. Well, we go through a lot, between academy training that we have. We spend a lot of time trying to teach them on the job, give them all the information that we can so that they know what information they need to do their job and do it effectively. It's a big investment, I don't know how much money we spend every year training employees, but I know it's quite a bit. Heck, we took our whole crew and spent, 3 days over doing MSHA training this year. Hanging out in a hotel, that's all we did was training. It sucks. Really, really sucks. But we ate good and we had fun while we were stuck there. So, spending that time and that money on training, as challenging as it can be as an employer, it is an important investment in your company, and there's no greater compliment to me than when I hear from an ex-employee who's doing well for himself. I just got a message the other day. One of my guys took a job, line board giant stationary engines, big old engines, like the size of a small house, really good job, moved up in his career. And that's what I like hearing. If my guys leave, I don't want them to leave and go sideways. I don't want them